This is the Samsung Galaxy S9, and it's been 5 years since the official release of this smartphone. Now this is 2025, and this is my real review of this smartphone. So following the release of the King, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, which not everybody at this time will be able to afford it. But this phone, the Samsung Galaxy S9, is also a flagship phone. Okay, at least back 5 years ago, it was a flagship phone. But using this phone since 2024, going into 2025 right now, this phone, the experience has been flagship. And in this video, I'm going to share that experience. And with that, I hope to answer the question whether you should buy this smartphone in 2025. And also, I've decided to buy all of Samsung's old flagship smartphones, so I can test all of them in the year 2025 and then share the experience with you guys. So if you can make a choice out of the options that I'm going to be showing in this video. Now, if that sounds like something you're really interested in, please subscribe to this channel so you don't want to miss out on any of those videos. So, is the Samsung Galaxy S9 still worth it after all these years? Let's start with the design of this smartphone. It is made out of aluminum and glass with very simple but elegant look, and it has this unbeatable feeling holding the phone. Very comfortable, and the size is not even so much of a worry. It is a one-hand usage phone, and you can easily reach all areas. So the build for me is still as pretty as it was back then, and it can survive few falls, and also it has an IP rating, which I will not advise you to try that. Given how long this phone has come, that particular feature might be outdated. So please don't dip this phone inside water, please. And then you get the fingerprint sensor just below the camera, which brings back a lot of memories. Back then, a lot of smartphones actually had their fingerprints at the back of the smartphone. Not now that we all have on-screen fingerprints and also side fingerprints. And the feeling is quite impressive and also responsive too. As for the processor, you have the Snapdragon 845 here, which was the best processor on any smartphone back in 5 years. And whatever task you throw at this smartphone, it handles it very well without any lags. And you can play all games you want, although maybe not at maximum settings, especially now, because don't forget this phone is 5 years old. And also a lot of games that are coming out right now have been updated according to the processors that have been released as well. But overall, you're going to be happy because it has a very decent performance, and because it has been around for a couple of years, it has also been very well optimized, so you don't experience any glitch. But there's something that also stood up for me, and that is the battery. Honestly, I commend the battery of this Samsung Galaxy S9. See, it's been 5 years old now, but up until now, this battery was able to give me 7 hours of a normal usage time. I mean, internet, calls, and also watching videos online. But when I switched to gaming, it did not last long. So I played one of my favorite smartphone games, Free Fire, and I pushed the limit to maximum settings. And this phone actually held up. And I did not experience any lags while playing the game, except for the rapid decrease in battery. And that is because I had to play the game with my internet connection turned on. But aside that, it gave me 7 good hours of normal usage. And that's okay in 2025, coming from a smartphone that was released 5 years ago. And then another feature of this phone that actually stood up for me is the display. It has an OLED panel curved display with 1100 nits of brightness and a Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection. But look at the color that pops out of this display. This phone is flagship, and it's still very useful till this day. This is a 5.8 inches display with a resolution of 1440 by 2960 pixels and a 63.6% screen to body ratio. Now the touch response is swift and smooth even up till now, and this is One UI 2.5, and I was able to upgrade my operating system as well. So this is a 4 gigs of RAM with a 128 gigs of internal storage, and there is also the 64 gig option, so you can decide to include an external SD card. Now for the external features, you have the Bixby button and the volume rocker on the left, and then the power button on the right. Underneath the phone, you have the earphones or the aux port, the USB Type-C port, a microphone, the speaker grill. So it is not so different from a 2025 smartphone. And then the camera, which is another important part of this review. So this is a 4K at 30 frames recording. I am recording with the rear camera, which is a 12 megapixels, and I am fairly impressed with the result. It looks very sharp. It has decent dynamic range with colors. Pictures are detailed too, and also portraits are perfect. The selfie camera also has good results for whatever purpose you have in mind. Now here's something you probably didn't know. In as much as this phone is few years back, but if you compare the overall processing of this smartphone to a more recent smartphone of 2025, honestly, you're going to be surprised with the performance of this Samsung S9. And it can stand up to most competitions right now. And yes, I do recommend this smartphone in 2025. So if you have 175,000 to 230,000 naira, you can easily afford the Samsung Galaxy S9. And for sure, it works perfectly fine. Seriously, except that you're not going to get all these fancy 2025 specs like high refresh rates or fast charging or larger displays. But what really matters is the overall performance. The camera is okay, the battery is okay, and also the display, the curved display here is okay. So yes, you can buy this smartphone in 2025. It's a very good option. And also, if you have this smartphone already, if you still have this smartphone and you're using it, please come with me to the comment and share your experience about the Samsung Galaxy S9. And also, I will be making my next video, so be sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave so you don't miss out on the next video. I'll see you in the next one.